welcome back. So I have prepared 4 different parts of a yoga sequence, and I'm going to break it up into 4 different classes. So we can get one part of the sequence done, and then we'll go on to the next part, and so on and so forth. I've been asked to kind of break it down by each sequence. So today we're going to do the calming sequence and the Sun Salutation A. After that, we'll do Sun Salutation B, and then we'll do some of the other sequences like triangle and crescent series, just to get you familiar with the poses and sort of the foundation of yoga. A lot of people are intimidated to go to that first couple classes, especially if you're going alone. So this can help you get those foundations, kind of understand what the teacher's saying, so you're not looking under and end up injuring yourself trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. So I hope this helps. All you need today is your mat, some comfy clothes, and your smile. And I will meet you back here. Okay, so today we will begin with the calming sequence, and we'll begin in child's pose. Then we'll do tabletop with cat and cow. We'll tuck our toes under and go up into downward facing dog. And we'll just break things down from there and take it slow, and then we'll do the sequence a couple times. And there's some variations throughout the practice, so you can watch me the first time if you want, listen and kind of do what you can, and have some fun with it, play with it. This is for you. You're supposed to get some nice movement out of this, and let's begin in the child's pose position. So with child's pose, you bring your knees to the outside edges of the mat and your toes to touch. You bring your seat back towards your feet, and you reach your hands forward. You can rest your head down on the mat, and then let your chest fall towards the ground. From here, we want to take some very nice deep inhalations and exhale it out your mouth. Big inhale, expanding your back, and exhale. Starting with child's pose helps us because it helps us begin to be grounded, focus in the now, bringing yourself to the mat. This time is for you. Let's do one more big inhale and exhale it out. Walk your hands towards you and come up into a tabletop position. So your knees will be underneath your hips, check that out, and your arms, your hands will be right underneath your shoulders. Your back should be neutral. Watch out for leaning down or arching. So from here, you want to feel broadness across your chest, gazing down, and we're going to go into what's called cow pose. So on cow pose, you drop your belly, you bring your seat into the air, your seat bones, and you bring your gaze up and inhale. So then on your exhale, you round your back, push into your hands, look down towards your navel, let your head hang, tucking the pelvis under just a little bit, and now inhale to cow. Dropping that belly towards the mat. You can move your hips, give yourself any movement. And exhale, round that back, push your hands, making space in your back, across your shoulders, looking towards your navel. And inhale to cow. You can move your hips a little bit side to side, front and back, whatever feels good. And one more cat, looking towards your navel, and come to center. Now from here, we'll go into what's called downward facing dog. So you can watch me first and then listen to my instructions. So it looks like this. Tucking your toes under. You send your seat into the sky. Pushing into your hands. Looking in between your legs. Bringing that seat bone up into the air. You can bend your knees as much as you need. So I'll do that again with you with instruction. So you're from your tabletop. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. And then push into your feet and bring your body towards your legs. So this first down dog, feel free to bend your knees like this as much as you need to. Getting a nice stretch in the hamstrings, pushing into the hands. You can walk out the legs like walk your dog. And then step forward and let your body hang over your legs. You can grab opposite elbows. Look between your legs, release your head to gravity. This is your forward fold. Take a big inhale and exhale it out. One more big inhale and exhale that all out. Now slowly begin to bring yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Your arms can hang. You're going to come to mountain pose. Standing straight up. Broaden across the chest. Let your arms to your side. Then bring your arms up overhead. Reach as high as you can towards the sky. And bring yourself to center with your hands at your heart. Press your fingers into your chest. And now we'll set an intention. Oftentimes in yoga class, you'll hear your instructor ask you to set an intention for yourself. So maybe today's intention is that you will focus on the moves. You'll find deep practice here. You'll stick with it this time and make this your own. Otherwise, I encourage any other intentions that you have. It's just nice to have one because we like to revisit it during the practice. So from here, we'll go into Sun Salutation A. So I'll turn to the side now. What we'll do is we'll reach your arms up into extended Tadasana, mountain pose. And we're gonna bend over our legs, bending into the knees as much as you need to that forward fold. And so here, you can play with this and see how that feels in your hamstrings. Give yourself as much bend as you need. We're early in the practice. Then come up to halfway lift. So you're gonna bring your hands to your shins, or you can bring them to the ground depending on what you're looking for. Is a flat back here. Then release that, bring your hands to your mat, step back into plank position. So in your plank position, you want your feet to be a little bit apart. You're pressing into your hands, pressing through your shoulder blades, making space in your back. You want to make sure your butt's not down too low or too high. It's always nice if you have like a mirror nearby, especially in the beginning. So a chaturanga is high to low plank, and you push through to up dog, pressing into your hands. Your knees are hovering over the mat, and then you're gonna press up into downward dog. So now let's do that together. All right, so plank pose. Lower yourself to almost above the mat. Press into your toes and come up, push into your arms, hovering your legs across the mat. And then tuck your toes under and send yourself up into downward facing dog. With your feet in the air, you're in that inverted V shape. Pedal out the legs or move the hips side to side. Take a big inhale. You should be warm by now. And now come to stillness, pressing into those hands, bringing that seat bone even further towards the sky, looking between your legs. Inhale and exhale. Let's step forward. Bend over your legs. Let your head hang heavy. It's like one of my favorite. You just get so much relief. And bring yourself up slowly. One vertebrae at a time. Reaching your arms up overhead for a nice stretch. And now I know some of you are saying, Melissa, I can't do that chaturanga. I can't do that. I can't. Well, I know it's difficult at first, so I'm going to show you a variation. So hopefully you didn't turn it off already. So the next variation of chaturanga I will show you. So let's do extended mountain, reaching up into the sky, thinking about that intention you set before. Big inhale, and as you exhale, bend over your legs, giving yourself that nice bend. Forward fold. Again, you can grab opposite elbows and sway, or reach your hands to the floor and stay in stillness. Then come up, plant the hands, step back, and I do want us to stay in this plank for a second. So plank, pressing through the legs, hands are pressing into the mat, back is wide. All right, so variation, drop the knees down. So if you drop the knees down, bring your hands just a little bit forward because you want to get that ab engagement. Because if you're like this, you don't feel anything in your core. So if you walk your hands a little bit forward, you're gonna feel that in your abdomen. Just hold it here, pressing into your arms. Or if you're in plank, that's great too. And now just rock if you are in plank. To just get a feeling of how the chaturanga works. So if you're in the knee pose, what you're gonna do is bring yourself down towards the mat. You can rest your chest on the mat. Hands are beside your breastbone. And you're going to push up to cobra pose. You can spread the legs apart a little bit if that feels better. So you're pressing your pubic bone into the mat. You're pressing into the arms, opening across your chest. Big inhale and exhale. Now from here, you're going to tuck your toes under. You can bring yourself to tabletop or go right into your downward facing dog. Woo, good job. All right, so let's walk out those legs. You should start to feel warmer now. Pressing into your hands, looking in between your legs. Big inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. All right, so let's step forward. Forward fold. Bring your hands up. Reach, 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 reach all the way up. Your head is last. Arms come up. Extended Tadasana. You should feel like a standing rod of energy right now. Reaching your fingertips as far as you can up. Inhale, cross your chest. Nice. And we're going to go through the Sun Salutation one more time. So reaching high, bend over the legs. Forward fold. Halfway lift, hands are near your shins or towards the floor for that flat back. You want your gaze to be straight down from that flat back. Then you're going to exhale, place your hands down, step back into plank. Now we're going to do the chaturanga, so it's going to be high to low plank, pushing through to upward dog, or the knees to the lower, and to the cobra. So let's do this. Plank pose, everybody. Feel it in your core, pressing into your hands. Let's lower to low plank, push through to upward facing dog. Pressing into your hands, the thighs are off the mat, or if you're in cobra, your thighs are on the mat. Chest is lifted. Just feel that open of the front body and feel the nice stretch in the back. Tuck your toes under, bring yourself through tabletop or right into downward facing dog. Now, as I mentioned, the downward dog, if you're getting to this part of the practice and you're like, oh my gosh, this is too many down dogs, that is okay. You are not alone. There are practices where there is too many down dogs for me too. When you're feeling that way, come into that child's pose. So that child's pose is our resting pose. This is our home base. This is our always safe place to go. When you're getting, your breath is getting belabored, or your arms are tired, or you're losing your focus, come back to child's pose. So in child's pose, you bring your knees to the outside edges of the mat, toes to touch. Then you reach your hands forward. And so if you want it to be a resting pose, hands forward, rest your head on the mat. You can give yourself a little massage in the head. Or if you want just a little bit more action while you're in your resting pose, you can tent your fingertips to get a little bit of a stretch up in the arms and in the shoulders. Another variation here is put your head down, bring your hands together, and stretch the shoulders and the triceps. Whichever you would like. Meet me in down dog after that. And let's walk out the legs. And step it forward. And I know I said we were going to do it one more time, but this time we're going to do it, and I'm going to say the poses, and we're going to do it. So I'm going to do less instruction and have us go through it twice without any instruction other than the pose name. All right, so mountain pose, reaching up to Tadasana or high mountain. Fold over our legs, forward fold, halfway lift, plank pose, low plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, and down dog. Awesome. One more time, guys. You can do it. Look to the top of your mat. Jump or step forward. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands. Step back. Let's go through chaturanga. Your chaturanga. High to low. Pushing through. Upward. And down dog. You guys are awesome. Feel free to come down into child's pose. Stretch that out just a little bit. Hands reaching forward, resting your head on the mat. You can walk your hands to one side. And then walk them to the other side. And back to the middle. So that is what I have for you guys today. This was the calming series, the Sun Salutation A, and then we walked through a couple of alternatives through the Sun Salutation A. So what we'll do is we'll build off of this practice as we go into the next sequence and the next class for the Sun Salutation B. And then later we will be working on triangle and crescent, and then working on some other core exercises and some alternatives that you can do while you're doing Sun Salutation A, B, whatever So I hope this helped. Drop me some comments of what helped, what you need more help on, and I'm happy to post on one of my upcoming classes on any questions that you guys have, because I'm here for you. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.